from the Moment textbook of class 9. This story has been written by a very renowned author, Oscar Wilde. Oscar Wilde is a popular man of letters in English literature. Some of his stories are proverbial. The Happy Prince and the Selfish Giant, these are the mostly celebrated stories in English literature. Oscar Wilde, who was born on 16th of October 1854 and died on 30th of November 1900. He was an Anglo-English playwright, novelist, poet, and the critic of the Victorian era. In his lifetime, he wrote 9 plays, 1 novel, and numerous poems, short stories, and essays too. He is regarded as one of the greatest playwrights of English literature. In this story, The Happy Prince, it brings up the great thought, great idea that the love and the concern for the poor people, miserable people, is the greatest gift blessed by the God. The story touches to the core of the heart. We should understand that we should help needy and the poor people. We should have the concern, sympathy, empathy for the needy people. The Happy Prince is the story of the statue, Happy Prince, and a little swallow. The Happy Prince is a beautiful statue gilded by thin leaves of the gold, 1 ruby on the hilt of the sword, 2 sapphires for the eyes. This statue stood on strong columns high above the city. One night, one swallow flew over the city. It wanted to rest somewhere as it was so much tired. It took the place between the feet of the Happy Prince. As it was ready to sleep, one large drop of water fell on him, and the swallow became very curious. As the clouds were very clear, there was not a single cloud in the sky. And he understood that these are the tears of the Happy Prince. He asked the reason to the Happy Prince, and Happy Prince said that due to all over the misery all around him, he became completely sad. Then, this little swallow made up his mind to stay back with the Happy Prince and to help him in his work. He gave his ruby to the seamstress, 1 sapphire to the playwright, and another sapphire to the magical to help the needy and the poor people. Now, the Happy Prince became completely blind. The swallow carried away all the wishes of the Happy Prince, whatever he asked to him. He asked to the swallow now to fly away to the Egypt. Now the swallow decided to stay away with the blind prince forever, as the Happy Prince became totally blind. He had a round to the whole city. The swallow saw the suffering and the starving of the poor people and reported the same to the Happy Prince. At the command of the Happy Prince, Swallow plucked out the fine, thin leaves of the gold from the statue and gave it to the poor. Now we can understand that this statue had become completely dull and shabby. As there was a frost season and the region has become colder and colder, Swallow was about to die. It flew into the Happy Prince, who bade him goodbye to go to the Egypt. Happy Prince said to him that to go to the Egypt. The same time, the swallow reported him that he is leaving to the house of death, and he fell dead on the feet of the Happy Prince. The next moment, the leaden heart of the Happy Prince cracked into 2 parts because of the hard frost. The next morning, the mayor and the councillors of the city had a round to the city, and they saw the statue of the Happy Prince. They spoke that statue had become now completely dull and shabby, and made order to take the statue down. As they put the statue down, that broke into pieces, and now that went to the furnace, melted into the furnace. But this leaden heart, however, did not melt. So they threw it on the heap of the dust beside the dead swallow which was lying there. In the heaven, God asked one of his angels to bring out 2 most precious from the city. An angel carried away this leaden heart and the dead swallow to the Lord. Lord praised him a lot for his choice, and he told to the angel that this little swallow shall sit in the heaven of paradise, and this happy prince shall praise him in the city of the court of the Lord. And in this way, we will conclude today's session. Thank you all.